Hey everyone, it's March 12th. I had an orthodontist appointment today, so this is an Invisalign update. I've actually gone 9 months officially 2 days ago. I had really good news today at the ortho. He actually thought that we could finish treatment, but it was my suggestion that I have some time between now and when I move to Canada. So I asked if we could just do a rescan and maybe do a couple final refinement trays over March. So he did. We scanned the teeth and we're gonna get new refinement trays made. We also determined I actually have to wear an elastic on the right side because I have a slight crossbite that needs slight adjusting. So that kind of sucks because I thought I was done with elastics and now, nope. I have to wear them again. But I'd rather have my bite be aligned correctly. But yeah, I almost was finished with my Invisalign in March, but it was my decision to extend because why not? I have the time. It's included in the price that I've already paid. He did tell me though, the upper teeth are 99% aligned. So the refinements are just correcting like that final 1%. I have 55 days left here. And why not use the maximum amount of my investment with this orthodontist practice that included all refinements in the one set price that I paid. So, and we had talked about composite bonding on one of these teeth, but actually the way that they've shifted, I'm comfortable with how my smile looks, even with the little gaps. I think it gives my teeth some personality, and overall, they're just looking so nice that I feel like I don't need to have that overly perfected Hollywood veneer smile. I kind of like that my smile has quirks. Like these teeth are jagged, these teeth are not. It's just a little bit of a quirky thing that I think makes my smile unique to me, and I like it. So I'm gonna keep it like that. The other thing I wanna update on is I've been selling, and because I sold some stuff, I've rearranged the flat basically to what I'm calling factory settings to when I first moved in. I sold my computer monitor, which used to be on my desk, which used to be there by the couch. I sold it for $180. I was so happy because that was the last item that I really wanted to sell. And after that, anything else I sell, because I still have 19 things listed for sale on Marketplace, anything else that sells is just bonus money. I disassembled the desk, and that desk was actually a hand-me-down from the other flat of horrors that I lived in for like 2 years. It was already in the room when I moved in, and then I just took it with me when I left. And then it actually just stood the test of time, even though it was wobbly and really like, I don't know how it defied physics still standing, but I used it. It served its purpose for me. I didn't have to pay anything for it either. And I was happy for that because it did what it needed to do. And then once I sold the monitor, I took everything down. I had to get a magic eraser and like scrub out some of the scuff marks because these walls, they scuff really easily. Like if you just, sometimes my nail polish even transfers onto the wall if I accidentally touch it. Everything kind of fell into place. I did a little decluttering to downsize how much stuff I had, rearranged it all around, and I'm so ready now to move. I even sold a cushion, pink faux fur cushion, for $10 the other day. And yeah, like I said, any other sales I make is just bonus money for helping me move. I did make a Temu order, and I ordered a duffel bag with wheels, and this duffel bag is massive, but it's within the size restraints for baggage on Qantas. I'm gonna have 3 checked bags, and with this duffel bag from Temu, I feel so confident and I feel so happy that I have everything I need now to move to Canada without worrying about how am I going to fit everything that I want to bring with me, because I have a lot of things. I'm not delusional. I definitely know I have a lot of stuff, especially shoes and clothes. And now with that 3rd bag, I just know that I'm sweet. I have this like feeling of relief come over me, and so now I'm just literally waiting. I'm waiting to move. Of course, I'm enjoying the present moment and taking advantage of things in New Zealand that I won't have when I move. However, I'm ready. I'm so ready to go. I'm like at that point. I've kind of just checked out of my life in New Zealand because I know that this exciting new chapter is coming, and I just can't wait for that. But one thing that's keeping me anchored to Wellington is these. I need to put in the discipline every single day to wear these braces. So that's the one thing that keeps me anchored to my life here. I know that I have one job left, and it's to straighten these teeth so that I can finish that chapter as well, finish the whole chapter of living in New Zealand, and move to Canada and start my second half of my life. Starting over at 33 years old. That's the new title that I'm going with for this chapter of my life. Let me show you a quick look around the flat as it is now reset to factory settings. Okay, so this bench thing, I had it over there and I used to pile all my bags on it. Now it's holding my laptop, and I'm using this as my TV again. So I hook my laptop up to this monitor, which came with the flat. The kitchen's the same. The biggest change, I guess, would be this area here. So I used to have my desk. You can still see the lines in the carpet. from where the desk was dug in, but now the table's back here. And now we have a little bit of a hot mess area. This is all stuff that I'm trying to sell on Marketplace, so that's why it's kind of has to stay there, because I need to be able to sell it. And then this is stuff for donation, which I keep adding to, but I should probably just take it to the store. This stuff here is just stuff that I'm trying to sell. There's stuff in here that's just holding things that I need to use until I leave, and then maybe I can try sell this actual plastic storage container. And this all has to be packed away at some point, but for now I do need access to some of the things in there, so I leave it in this bag. It doesn't look the greatest, but it does the trick. And then the bed is really pared down. I sold most of the cushions that I used to keep on the bed, so all that's left is this one, and this one is just, it didn't really handle the wash very well, so I'm actually just going to donate that. I'm not going to try sell it, and I'm just leaving the duvet and the sheets for my landlords to use with the new tenant, because this is my bed, but I've sold the bed to them, and I've sold the bed base, which is just a basic fabric base here. Mainly it's just the mattress and the sheets, and I told them I'd leave the duvet for them because I don't need it. The nightstand tables were theirs. I've sold both of my lamps. There used to be a lamp there and then a lamp there, which I've sold. This is their lamp, and then I'm taking this docking station. But mainly I've downsized the clothes in my closet, but this is the Temu duffel bag, which I'm going to continue to fill. And then my other are these two here, pink suitcase and the blue suitcase to check. And then I have all this other stuff to deal with. I'm leaving behind all of these plastic hangers. I may take a couple of these flocked hangers because they are a little bit pricey. If I have the space, I will take a couple of these hangers. That's their towels. That's one of their extra pillows. I need to donate this container. It just has more clothes in there right now. So I sold the 4-tier shoe rack that I had. And then I have this little one that came with the flat I used to live in. And I've tried to downsize how much shoes I'm taking with me, but I still have a couple that I like to keep out that I'm wearing right now. The other thing is I took down all of the artwork that I used to have blue tacked onto the walls, most notably the gallery wall where I used to have my desk, my little mini office if you will, filled with artwork that I had picked up over my travels throughout the time that I lived in New Zealand. I went to Nepal, I went to Europe, I went to a bunch of different places and picked up artwork there, and I was posting it up on the wall, but I've taken it all down and really just kind of sterilized this place. Anyways, that's all the updates I wanted to give for March. I don't know when I'll update again, but thanks for listening. This has been an up and down journey to get to this point of comfortability with moving and getting this flat ready for my departure. And I'm in a really good space right now mentally, and just like how everything has turned out and like how much I've sold and made money back is just so cool, because I couldn't have asked for a more stress reduced way to move, because moving is such a stressful thing. But the way that I've been blessed to exit New Zealand has been very stress-free. Once I accepted that I'm just not going to get work here, it took a lot of that like anticipation waiting away, and then what was left was just doing the tasks that had to be done, and I did it. I did it all by myself. I did it. Thanks for listening. I'll see you in the next video. Bye! One of my favorite things to do in Wellington is go for a walk along the beautiful Oriental Bay parade. I saw this guy sleeping while he was fishing, which I thought was funny. I wanted to do this walk because on a sunny day in Wellington, it's one of the best things you can do in the central area. I just love walking around along the footpath where you can literally bike, run, walk. You'll see everybody walking their dogs and everything. You can do some wildlife spotting, and it's a really great undisturbed way to just walk and enjoy one of the best things about Wellington, which is the coastline. Look at that skyline. Wellington is such a pretty city, and when you walk around Oriental Bay Parade, you're really reminded of why you're living here, just for the beautiful access to this ocean. And then of course Oriental Bay Beach, the soft sand, the beautiful views, the iconic fountain. And this sand is actually imported from Golden Bay in the South Island to make this beautiful beach for everybody in the city to enjoy. And even in the winter, you got people swimming. So this is my favorite thing to do. One of my other favorite things to do in March in Wellington is Cuba Dupa Festival. So this is down the pedestrian street, Cuba Street. There's a little nod to Cuba there with the flag. And it is a free street festival that runs over 2 days, usually end of March time. And you just get access to so much things that you don't have to pay for. Free entertainment, musical acts throughout the entire weekend. There's also street performances, parades. It's a very busy event. Wellingtonians love to come out. They dance to the music. They get involved. There's lots of food trucks to try. And it's just nice to see people come out and support an event like this. And that's something that I'm going to miss about Wellington, is how many people commit to something that's going on in the city, and they will come out and they will get involved. Because look at the day we got this day. So sunny and hot. For Wellington, it was such a treat. The vibes are so high. Everyone's happy in this type of weather, because when it's a sunny day in Wellington, you take advantage, right? I highly recommend it. And so let's just enjoy the rest of the clips from my time at Cuba Dupa 2025. Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've done a sit-down update. I did vlog my South Island road trip that I went on last week, so if you haven't seen that, go ahead and watch the vlog of my final South Island road trip. And I wanted to just enjoy New Zealand's South Island splendor one more time before I'm probably not going to be here for a couple years. Anyways, this is going to be my 10-month Invisalign update. I can't believe it's been 10 months. 10 months. Here we are. I think my teeth look incredible. It took about a week and a half to get my new refinement trays made. He had set up a plan of 7, but I'm actually moving before I could get to the 7. So I think I'm only going to be able to get to the 6 trays of further refinements. So he took off my old attachments from my second refinement trays. We put on some more, but very, very few. Okay, just strategically placed on only some teeth. It was nice to get those attachments off. They had started to get some staining on them. So when he polished off the old attachments, I was very happy. My teeth looked so white. And we determined I needed an elastic. So, as you can see, I have an elastic on the right side. It was to fix a slight crossbite. That means that the bottom teeth were not in line with the top. This is now 4 weeks with wearing an elastic, so I believe it's already corrected. But before we did that, this bottom tooth here was not aligning with the front teeth here. So it was slightly over here. And so he just said we needed to move it over, not too much. And I actually found that it has greatly improved my bite, because when the first refinement trays came through, I was noticing that some of my teeth in the back were rubbing together when I was chewing, and they would make this really loud squeaky sound. And I was like, that's weird. That's never happened to me before. And he said, it's likely because your jaw has shifted. It wasn't the entire refinement phase that I needed elastics, and I did really enjoy only having to worry about top and bottom trays. But honestly, I thought like at 10 months, perhaps my habits with wearing my trays would get a little bit more lax. I wouldn't be as disciplined. I'm here to report that that is not the case. I have remained so disciplined throughout my entire 10 months of treatment. I wear my trays minimum 22 hours a day. That has not stopped. And the driving factor behind that is that I know the more you have your Invisalign in your mouth, the better the results you will get. And I did not come out here spending $10,000 on my smile to not get the best results I could get. And I'm really glad that I did, because this is my smile now. This is how I look. So anyways, I'm gonna do a close-up of my teeth, which we always love this comparison. I think the biggest improvement is the bottom lineup. I kind of wish I had done a before of that to show you what my teeth originally looked like. It's so cool to see my teeth like that. Look at that. So all that's left to do is a couple more trays left. We're actually running out of time for some of the treatment procedures, so he's fast-tracked a couple things for me. I don't have time to finish my trays, first of all, so I'm only gonna get through 6, but also I don't have time to wait for my final retainers to be molded and fabricated and shipped back to New Zealand for me to stick around to pick them up. So what he's gonna do is on the last possible day that I'm living in New Zealand before I get on the plane, I'm gonna go see him. We're going to bond on the permanent top and bottom retainers, which is the metal retainer goes behind the teeth so that they're always constantly being held in place. Those are going to get installed. And then he said, we're going to take your last tray, which would be tray 6 of my second set of refinements. And he's like, we're going to cut them so that they can fit onto your teeth with the permanent retainers. There's going to make space behind these teeth and these teeth so that I can still slide on tray 6 and use that as my overnight retainer until I go home to Canada. And I'm doing so many things in Canada, I'm gonna be so busy. And then we're gonna send it and they're gonna fabricate your final retainer trays, which are a lot thicker and they're intended for years of use. And you get 3 of them. You have to wear those ones overnight for the rest of your life, basically, to keep your teeth straight, which I definitely am gonna do that, okay? I didn't spend all this money just so that my teeth could go back to the way they were. So we have the first fail-safe of the permanent retainer. The second one is that retainer that's actually molded to the way your teeth are on your final scan. And that he's actually going to ship it to me in Canada. So at first he wasn't really a fan of that option, but I said, listen, we just don't have the time and we can do as much treatment as we can while I'm here. And I don't need to be here waiting around for a retainer to be shipped in the mail. So I feel like you could ship it to me. And he was like, okay, I will. So he was very reasonable with that. He's very happy with my results. I only have 3 weeks left of living in Wellington, actually. So I only have 3 weeks left to fix whatever's left in there, use this elastic, and he'll take off all of the attachments at the end of the treatment. After all of that is done, I feel like I'm gonna go around smiling like this. Hey, how you doing? Hi. Mom and I have this ongoing joke that I smile so big now that my teeth are straight. I feel like I'm just gonna be like, hey everybody, as much as possible. Someone's gonna say, Kyra, do you wanna be in my photo? I'll be like, yeah. So anyway, as you can see, I'm very happy with the results. I'm a happy girl. We're in the final stretches, guys. That's the big long update I wanted to give primarily today. The other thing I wanted to talk about was just in general how things are going with the move. And they started doing viewings. So we've had 2 viewings already where I've had to leave the flat. People came in to check it out, see if they want to rent it. I really hope that the landlords find somebody. I'm doing really well. I think that trip to the South Island also really picked up my spirits. And of course, it wouldn't be an update without talking about the books that I'm reading. Because girl, if you didn't think there was a stack behind me, you don't really know me. Just a really quick one because I can get on a ramble with about books. Okay, so first of all, I finished this one. I was on the wait list for this book for forever. This Abby Jimenez is a popular rom-com artist. I have to say, it was only just okay. I don't know why this got such hype. I also waited a long time to read this one, The Silent Patient. This is really interesting to me. Psychotherapy, talking about why somebody who was seemingly insane did a crime and going through unpacking trauma and stuff. Very interesting. Seems like a really good book already. It wouldn't be a book haul without some romantasy. That is the combination of fantasy and romance. So this is a new series to me. Jennifer Armentrout from Blood and Ash. There's a lot of books to this series, so I'm really excited to get into another romantasy series. It's been a while since I've sunk my teeth into one of these books because I finished all the Sarah J Maas ones. And now we're going to start off with this one. I love Outlander, and this is book number 2. I started reading this one as well, so I've already gotten into the phase of reading books simultaneously. I don't know. This is just a really dense book though, so it takes a long time to read this. Nobody's really wanting to take this out as well, so I have time to read it at my leisure. I already know what's going to happen because I've seen the TV show of Outlanders, but I like reading the book and comparing it to what I saw in the TV show. And then lastly, we've got another rom-com. This is One Last Stop. I'm not sure about this one. I just saw it and it had this Librarian's Choice sticker, so I just randomly picked it up. We'll see how it is, but always good to have a little filler book. That is what I'm reading lately. I think I've read an insane amount of books in 2025 so far. Literally, if I looked back at my library and like the loan history, it would be miles and miles long. Anyway, that's a lot of updates for you. Thank you so much if you're still watching, and give this video a like, and I'll see you in the next update. Bye!
She's the river flowing around, fields and trees in her song came along. It's when my summertime used to flint and sparks the lighter, the fuel that will hold the flame. Roses, roses, lay upon the altar and spread on the whole.
Hi everyone! It is the 21st of April. It is Easter long weekend. We're on Easter Monday right now, and I have spent it mostly indoors because the weather this weekend has not been that great. A lot of rain yesterday, overcast skies today. We did get a little bit of warmer weather, but nothing like a nice long weekend in April should probably be like, but there was a cyclone hitting parts of the northern part of the North Island, so I'm just glad that that cyclone didn't reach its way down here to Wellington, because there's a lot of damage done. So thoughts go out to those who have been impacted by this cyclone. But anyways, this update is to just recognize that it's only 2 weeks left until I move to Canada. The time is absolutely flying by now. I wanted to talk a little bit about some updates on what I've been doing to not only prepare to move, but also to save some money. I've been doing a couple things lately that have saved me a lot of money. Starting off with this weekend, I woke up one day and I was like, I need a haircut. Now haircuts in Wellington can run you anywhere from $80 to $120. That's just too much for me right now. I do not want to be spending that, especially since I just wanted a trim. Now a trim is just a couple inches off, and I knew that I probably had the capacity to do that. So I cut my own hair. I know, jump scare. I'll put a picture here of all my hair in the sink. But yeah, I just cut off a little bit of length. I didn't try to go fancy and do layers and anything like that, but I just cut off maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches. And I think for an at-home cut job for the very first time, I didn't do a bad job. So I saved myself about $90 there. Another way I've been saving money is I actually canceled my Wi-Fi here in this flat, and it saved me about $150. And instead, I did try to share Wi-Fi with the neighbors. That didn't go so well. So I ended up finding a solution that worked for me. I got an unlimited data package with a different phone provider from the one that I had been using the last 5.5 years. And I was able to have this be my primary way of accessing the internet, and then I hotspot to use it with my laptop over there because my Wi-Fi was very expensive per month. So I saved myself 2 months of spending $85 a month on that Wi-Fi by just downsizing to an unlimited data plan, which has been fine. Honestly, it's been totally fine. The other way I've been saving money is I decided to cancel my gym membership a little bit before I was actually due to move because it was very expensive. It's about $93 a month that I've been paying for my gym membership. And so I just went to have a chat with the owner. I sat down and told him what was happening, and he's a friend. So I also wanted to just give an update on the fact that I'm leaving. And so we determined that April 20th would be the last day because at that point they charged me for another month. I am gonna miss my gym, and it was bittersweet to say goodbye to my friends there, but I'm so excited for this next phase of my life. So I know that it's all happening for a reason. But yeah, I saved myself $93, although I do love working out. So it's going to be a bit of an adjustment to get used to not working out anymore. However, it was quite a lot of money per month that I was paying, so I'm okay to save that. I will be looking for another membership once I get to my new city that I'm going to be living in. And a way that I've been making money, aside from saving money, is by selling on Facebook Marketplace. I actually made a sale today, so this is very fitting to provide a Facebook Marketplace update. I can officially say, so far in my 8 months of selling on Marketplace as my part-time job, as I like to call it, I have sold 48 items on Marketplace. Out of my Marketplace sales alone, I made $1,474. And then my landlords also bought my bed and my air fryer. The bed was $285. I resold them the air fryer for $50, so that was $335. So in total, I have made back $1,809 of stuff that I had already purchased. I just didn't need anymore, and I've downsized. And I think almost hitting 2 grand is such a big milestone. I didn't think that I would sell that much. Now, even though I've had really amazing success on Marketplace, there definitely has been some things that I just was not able to sell, and so I just had to donate that, and I was able to do that in small amounts throughout the last couple months. 2 weeks until I leave. I've already packed up most of my suitcases now. It's just a couple of things left over that I still need to use for the next 2 weeks and live with, and then I will finish packing my bags and actually get an Uber, the last one, to the airport. So I'm so thankful for all the money I managed to make back, because I am not working, so any money coming in is definitely appreciated. Now, the last couple things I wanted to talk about are my books. I definitely have loved reading. So this segment is what I'm currently reading. Now, there have been plenty of books that I've read that I did not show you. I did have one book that I actually did not finish, which is not very usual for me to have a book that I don't finish reading. But I have so many other books to read. If there's something that I'm just not enjoying within the first 100 pages, I'm not going to finish it. So I recently finished this mammoth of a book. This book is actually 33 years old, and it was a big one. This was 734 pages with a much smaller font. It basically felt like it was taking me years to get through this book. It's definitely taken me weeks to actually finish this. I actually took breaks from it. I would finish a little bit and then I'd read another book and then come back to this. But thankfully I finished it this Easter long weekend and it was amazing. The last 100 pages of this, so worth all of the other long-winded tales that happen, but the way that this author writes is incredible. I can't recommend the Outlander series enough, whether that's reading the books or watching the show. They're both so good. And then I've got a good old thriller. That's the yellow sticker. This is a UK author. I've read another one of this author's books. It was pretty good, Gillian McAllister, and I already started reading it when I first picked it up. And it's nice. Also, it's got gigantic font, so I'm looking forward to just getting this read really quickly. That is what I'm reading recently. Thank you so much for watching this update, and I will see you in the next video. Hi everybody. Oh my gosh, it's only 2 days left until I move, so I'm doing the final things. And also, we've had a storm the last 3 days. I've been inside because we've had this crazy storm across the entire country, North Island, South Island. We had insane weather. There was a state of emergency declared near Christchurch. There had flooding there. It was rain, torrential winds and rain. It was just absolutely terrible. So I've been inside for 3 days. So today I spent so much time outside. I got ready for the first time and I was walking around in the sun, and it's so nice out today. Barely any wind. You would never think that we had a red wind warning just 24 hours ago and that most people were locked inside for 3 days, if possible, if you were lucky to have to walk in that. Like, I had never heard the wind rattle in this building like that before. Never, ever, ever. And I'm on the top floor of this building, so I can hear the rain coming down, but it wasn't just the rain, it was just the wind and the strength of it, like 160-kilometer-per-hour wind gusts. And they weren't even just by the coast, it was coming into the city center as well. So that's what made it really scary. I could feel the building swaying. I could hear it buffeting my building because it's a high rise. Before I knew what the wind was capable of, I had left my window unlocked and it was opening the window on its own, which is insane because it's a heavy window. So I had to lock the window. Really lucky to be just homebound and I didn't have anywhere to be. So I spent 3 days homebound and rode out the storm. But yeah, today I was just so happy to walk around and I went to the library. I got a new book, which I have to mention because it's honestly so interesting. I just love this book already. I stayed at the library reading it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a good book. It's called We Used to Live Here and it's actually getting turned into a movie. It's a thriller and it's so good. Like, I highly recommend it. But I dropped off 2 books that I finished and this is probably going to be one of the last books that I read because I am leaving in 2 days. Like I said, I can't believe it. So it's May 2nd today, and I just wanted to show you that I'm getting rid of my plants because I was unsuccessful in trying to resell them on the last 3 plants. So this is what I'm doing. I decided to make a sign that said free, and then I put the plants inside, and I'm just gonna put it downstairs by the lift so that hopefully somebody will come and pick up these plants. So that's something that we do sometimes in this building. We take some stuff that you don't want anymore, you can put it by the elevators or the lifts, and if you put a sign up, some people will take it. That's what happened to me. I took a basket full of kitchenware stuff, I decluttered a bunch of things in here, and I just put a sign up and said free, and then I let it just sit there for like 6 hours, and almost everything went except a couple things, which is good because it saves me having to walk it to the thrift store. But I am gonna actually take a couple clothing items that I've decided to let go of to the thrift store today. At this point, I'm not trying to really sell anything anymore. There's just not much capacity left in my patience to deal with people. Like yesterday, I almost had a sale, and then he just like didn't show up. So I just realized I'm done. Like I'm done with that. So I'm now donating everything and taking it to thrift. But yeah, I'm just so grateful that the weather is nice and it was so warm. The sun is so warm. It is a crisp autumn day, but the sun is still so strong on this part of the country that I loved it. I just loved walking around. I went to New World, got a couple treats, but I've done so well. Let me show you the pantry and how empty it is. I have tried my hardest to eat all of the food, and all that's left is 1 small can of tuna, about a quarter left of honey, which I will just throw away, and just a little half a packet of pasta left, which I'm gonna make pasta with the tuna, and I have some frozen veg left in the freezer. Look at the freezer. Guys, I cleared it out. This is all the landlord stuff, so I've re-put it back in there. These are my bowls, but I'm just leaving them behind. The fridge, I only have like a couple condiments left, but they're all pretty much empty. For example, look at that, just a small amount left. A little bit of ketchup there, a little bit of this Thai sauce, and then this is it. Small amount of cheese. I bought some buns today to make ciabatta ham and cheese sandwiches because I love the ciabatta buns from New World. So I've got this Heller's shaved ham to eat. Enough Vogels to last me till the day that I move. A little bit of mayo left in there. I will have to throw out most of that jam, unfortunately. A little bit of olive anise bread and only 1 apple left. But that is it. I've started cleaning out the fridge as well, wiping down the inside. That's something that I have to do. When I was at the supermarket, I also got some candy to take home with me. I just thought, I love Whittaker's. This is the best chocolate I've ever had in my life. This is a New Zealand staple. It says right there, made in New Zealand. So I had to get some mini size peanut slabs, 12 of them in there. And then I got this, which is a little gummy mix. It's not necessarily known to New Zealand, but when Mom was visiting, she loved this brand and this mix. So this is for her as a gift. So I'm gonna add these to my luggages as a memento of my time in New Zealand. But I've tried really hard to eat all the food in my pantry and try not to waste too much. Obviously there's gonna be some food waste. You know, I'm not able to eat everything before I leave, but I've tried my hardest, and now whatever I have left, I'll finish it off and then have the rest of my meals out until the day that I leave, which is coming up so soon. Oh my God, I can't believe it. So yeah, it's just final things to clear out the place, but it's looking really good. It's looking nice and bare, and I'm feeling really positive. I'm feeling excited, and I can't believe that it's finally here almost. So those are the emotions. So excitement's running high. I'm a little anxious about getting all my bags by myself at 4 in the morning to the airport. But once I get to the airport, I drop them off and I don't see my bags again until Ottawa. So that will be a big relief, and it'll just be my carry-on and my personal item. So it's just getting to the airport and dropping them off that I have to do. Anyway, that's so excited. And we're only like 2 days out from finishing up my teeth and stopping my Invisalign treatment. Everything's just coming together. It feels surreal that it's finally here. I'm so grateful. I'll see you guys in the next update. Hi everyone! Oh my gosh, it's May the 5th today. It's Monday, which means it's my last day in New Zealand before I move back to Canada, and it's my last day, well, my last morning with Invisalign. This is my near 11-month Invisalign update. Today we are removing all attachments on my teeth. So this is tray 5. They're gonna give me tray 6, modified with cuts around the backs to fit my bonded retainers, but it's gonna help retain my back teeth in place over the next 2 weeks. So I'm very proud of myself. The amount of discipline and determination it took to get through these 11 months it was a lot, and I really have to give it to myself. Like, this was hard work, but in the grand scheme of things, 11 months is not that much time. So if you were thinking about straightening your teeth, no matter what age you are, because when I started this process, I was 32, now I'm 33, you're never too old to fix your smile and get your oral health back into a really great place. And that's what I did for myself. And I didn't do it for anybody else but for me. So if you want to take any words of wisdom out of this, is if you're thinking about it, do it. Because all I had thought about this whole time is, why didn't I do this sooner? Because it's brought me so much joy, so much more confidence, and it's helped improve my overall health. It's a no-brainer. So if you can afford it, please do it. And if you can't afford it, I would recommend saving up to do it, because it is worth every single penny. I'm so happy with my treatment. So right now I'm getting ready to leave the house to go to my final orthodontist appointment. But yeah, I'm feeling really proud. So proud. Let's go get my teeth done. Hey guys, so this is it. This is the final look. I'm so happy. It feels weird to not have any attachments on the outside of my teeth, but now I just have to get used to the retainer because I got it on the top and the bottom. Let's check them out. Okay, bear with me. Skip this part if you don't want to be up in my mouth, but this is the bottom I can show you. Anyway, look at this. Oh my gosh. Girl, I've never seen myself with straight teeth like this. I feel like I'm just gonna be smiling at everybody and everything, like, hi. So yeah, anyway, love it. It was a really long appointment, took 1 hour. Yeah, it was a little uncomfortable in the chair. I'm still recovering from a sciatica nerve injury, so my sciatica was acting up a little bit after being suspended backwards for an hour, but I did it, and we polished up the teeth. He even shaved them, make them a bit more symmetrical on the bottom. Nearly 11 months, 5 days shy of 11 months with Invisalign, and I'm really happy with the results. So this concludes the last Invisalign update. Wow. In other news, it is my final day in Wellington. Thank the Lords. I was blessed with a beautiful sunny day, at least this morning, because Wellington weather does change. But this morning it's beautiful and sunny. I have a lot to get done today. I have to do the final clean of the entire flat, which you have to do if you want to get your bond back. I had a $1,000 bond. I'm hoping to get my full 1,000. You only know after they do the final inspection once you move out. So I'll know how much I get back after that, and we'll follow the form. But I got to clean the kitchen, wipe out inside the fridge, vacuum the entire flat, finalize my packing. There's some luggage there. I have to clean the bathroom one last time, remove all of the rubbish from the flat. This is the last donations to take to the thrift store, and that's all on me to do. I got to do that all by myself today. So as much as I'd love to go out and enjoy a Wellingtonian sunny day, I do have a lot of work to get done. And then tomorrow my flight leaves at 6 a.m., which means I have to leave here at 4 a.m. to get to the airport with enough time to shuttle all my bags with me, check in. I have to pay for my extra luggage and sort that all out. Thankfully, Wellington Airport is nice and small, so I don't have to allot too much time to get to my gate and through security, because that's pretty breezy. But yeah, it's just the baggage and stuff that I need to suss out. So yeah, I'm leaving here at 4 in the morning, which means I have to wake up at 3:30 a.m. to get prepared, to get ready to go. And that's me. I do have to run out again today to get some new floss. I need to buy threading floss, the kind that you fit through the teeth, because I no longer can use regular floss. Obviously I have the retainers there in the way, so to floss in the front here, I need special floss. So I gotta go pick that up. But first, I'm gonna cook my meal. I stopped at Shelly Bay Bakery and I got myself one final baked good from one of the Wellington cafes. I went there the other day and I got a date scone. I really liked it. It's like a sweet scone, and I quite like dates. So I went ahead and bought a date scone, crystallized sugar on top. And I love that, it's very filling. So I'm gonna have that with some eggs, the last of my beautiful New Zealand eggs. This is the last 2 I have left. This is the brand I was buying recently. I love the eggs in New Zealand. I'm gonna miss them so much. And then I have to clear out the fridge and throw out any remaining food. I did a really good job at eating most of my food, so I'm only throwing out a couple condiments. That's it. That's how I'm gonna spend my day. So I don't know how much more I'm gonna vlog, maybe here and there. So I'll see you in the next update. Bye. I wanted to wrap up my time in Wellington by coming to Scorching Bay Beach. Just a different kind of scenic coastal drive. What I didn't know is that there are no buses that leave from the coast, so I have to hike back up that hill. Came down all these steps to get down to the beach, and now I gotta go back up to get to a bus route, so that's gonna be fun. But I just wanted to send off my time in Wellington by coming to the iconic Wellington coastline, just reminding myself of the beauty of this city one last time before I say see you later. I'm not gonna say goodbye to Wellington, but I'm gonna say see you for now. My time here, living here for this chapter, is coming to an end. So I thought it was quite symbolic to send it off by coming to the beach because I have a connection to the ocean. That's one of the main reasons why I loved living in Wellington, just being so close to the sea and looking out at this beautiful sunset and at the hills and the coastline. It's been a really nice time here in Wellington, and I'm signing off though. So I guess I'll see you guys in Canada. Thanks again for supporting the vlogs during this chapter of my life while I lived in New Zealand and recorded my life here on these vlogs for 5.5 years. To all the people that have been watching from the beginning, thank you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.